The Workfare Income Supplements scheme was launched in 2007. It was intended as an incentive for older, low-wage workers to work and save for their future. Eligible workers get quarterly payouts, less than half of it in cash. The rest is paid into the Central Provident Fund. For many, it is a godsend.
The Workfare actually, it motivates me to work in the company.
If got the Workfare, at least he can help me to buy household item, everything.
But others question whether Workfare is enough.
It's like you want to help us, but there's always a cap. There's always a thin fine line that we must not exceed.
Workfare was never meant as a free handout. So for struggling families, what other options exist? It is 6 a.m. Dia is on her way home from work. She's a cashier at a convenience store. For her, the Workfare Income Supplement scheme is a lifeline. It's why Dia continues to put up with grueling night shifts.
Currently now I'm working at near to my home. Actually it's walking distance, about 15 minutes away from here, and actually I work from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. That is where actually after 6 a.m. I have to rush home and send my boy to school. Yeah, actually make lots of difference because some companies actually they only release stuff at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. The Workfare actually, it motivates me to work in the company and stop resigning from the company.
Dia earns around 700 Singapore dollars every month. Since this is below the qualifying threshold, she receives a regular Workfare supplement of about $120. Another $180 is credited directly to her pension fund or Central Provident Fund, the CPF. The payouts are automatic. Recipients don't have to apply.
I use the money from Workfare to offset my billing, paying my PUB bills. Usually my PUB bills will be $150, okay? But now it's really piled up to about $283. I still have to pay my conservancy bill. I still have son to take care. I mean, yeah, the expenses that he's going to have during the school holidays, you see.
Dia's income supplements her husband's $1,000 monthly wage. But she calculates that her monthly household expenses can add up to about 1,500 Singapore dollars. Dia can't save much, perhaps about 150 Singapore dollars in a good month. She would prefer that the Workfare payments were paid monthly.
If you're talking about Workfare bonus that we're actually getting 3 months, I think it makes no difference because sometimes we have other bills to pay, you see. So our bills intend to pile up. So only after that 3 months when we receive the 120, we think that, oh, we have this extra 120, but we can't do anything. The 120 only you think of paying your bills. But then if they start to pay us monthly, at least that monthly you can use it to pay your bills and your bills won't pile up. Makes a lot of difference.
The problem is, Workfare Income Supplements, or WIS, are paid out quarterly, and recipients must have worked for at least 2 out of the 3 months to qualify for each payout. The maximum payout ranges from $1,400 to 3,500 Singapore dollars, depending on age and income. Recipients must be 35 or older and earn less than $1,900. If Dia went back to working full-time, which she did before her son was born, she could earn more and no longer be dependent on workfare. But helping her son with his schoolwork comes first, for now.
Okay, so how many quarters is that? No one actually taking care of my son. And my husband actually very reluctant to send him to student care. He preferred me to actually taking care of him. That is actually a having problem. I can't find any day full day job. That is why I currently now I have to stay with my night shift job.
May is also on workfare, but has very different problems. Staying in to eat helps the family bond and saves money.
Right now, most of the time we stay at home because my husband works 7 days a week, and you know, every time when I want to leave the house, I will see a dollar sign there. It's like you must think of the transportation, the food. Kids, they will even ask for anything they like. I really cannot take it when, you know, if they ask from me, I cannot give it to them.
May works at a fast food restaurant and has an irregular income of around 300 Singapore dollars a month. She gets about 70 Singapore dollars in workfare payouts every quarter. But the amount varies depending on the number of hours she works. And that $70 doesn't really last long.
If you want to say about food, I think minimum when you go to the shop, you need at least $10. If $10 for 7 days is only $70, whereas you get a workfare 3 months once, you know, $70 for 1 week expenses. I think it's not helping at all. You know, even now they say that, you know, December you'll be getting workfare. I'll say, okay. You know, I really don't look forward because the amount is really little.
Workfare Income Supplement takes no account of the number of household members, so May gets the same level of supplement as someone with no children. What's worse, her husband doesn't qualify for workfare, as his day job pays him about $2,200, which is above the workfare income cap of $1,900. The family just about scrapes through.
In other countries, you find that similar workfare systems are not based on individual income, but are based on household income, meaning that a person could be earning above the threshold of $1,900, he could be earning $3,000, but if you have several dependents within the household, the wage earner should be eligible for income supplement in order to help them to increase their standard of living.
According to a local survey on attitudes towards poverty, 3 out of 5 respondents said that people on low incomes need more assistance from the government. WIS, or Workfare Income Supplement, is one form of help employees receive, so long as they are in work. But what about those who missed the boat?
It's like, you want to help us, but there's always a cap. There's always a thin fine line that we must not exceed.
To encourage older, low-wage Singaporeans to work, earn and save more, the WIS, or the Workfare Income Supplement Scheme, was launched in 2007. This year, an estimated 500,000 Singaporeans will benefit. But 46-year-old Eddie Teo is not one of them. A lorry driver for the past 15 years, he earns about 2,000 Singapore dollars a month, which is just above the workfare income threshold. His base salary of 1,600 should make him eligible, but he earns allowances that push him out of the qualifying income band. He believes that workfare should be based on basic salary, not gross income.
Even though it's 200 or 300, it will help me a lot. I can use this money for my son to go for the tuition or go for swimming course, or give my wife go to attend the English course, everything. And sometimes even though I also can use the money if I can pay for my son or my wife the installment money.
Even though he and his Indonesian wife earn a combined income of 3,000 plus, he says he's in a fix. He claims to have debts that are so high that he's given up trying to pay them off.
On 2010, my family all is sleeping at this prime mover. So even we took our daily dinner, breakfast all inside here.
Eddie and his family are currently living in a shelter. According to the Housing Development Board, Eddie has managed to book a built-to-order, or BTO flat. Meanwhile, Eddie is trying to secure a rental flat, but he needs to pay 1,800 Singapore dollars before he can move in. Eddie says that the rent is too high. This is why Eddie prefers to live in a homeless shelter, which costs only $100 a month.
Presently, I'm staying under the organization that helping the low income and those people who are homeless. My salary, I cannot be very high. If my salary is higher, I will be homeless again. And my family will stay inside my prime mover again. So, this is why I say why I hold back. I try to reduce my salary. Is to secure a place for my family to stay.
One of the issues definitely is their financial literacy, the ability to financially manage their cash flow, their income and their expenditure. In some situations, they really extend their credit way beyond their means.
This problem of financial literacy, the ability to manage money, is common to other families. May and her husband used to have a comfortable lifestyle with a home and even a car. But then they took a mortgage to get a bigger flat and sank into debt. Soon they were forced to go back to renting a home.
So we got this agent to help us to sell the house, and the agent sold the house without getting us a flat. So by the time that we wanted to get a flat, the COV goes up to really high, about $30,000. So that is where we are stuck, and from that day onwards we have been renting a place in an open market. We don't rent the whole flat, we only rent a master bedroom.
According to May, her husband Adam owes money to at least 6 moneylenders. The total is an eye-watering figure of 10,000 Singapore dollars. To service this debt, her husband has taken on 3 jobs. Today is the first time in 6 months that he's been able to take a day off with his family.
What saddened me most is that I did not hear their laughter for so long. It's like we even eat together as a family, spend time together. It's like these are all affect the child's upbringing. It's like they don't have any childhood memories.
Altogether, Adam's pay comes to about 2,200 Singapore dollars. This means that, like Eddie, he is also not eligible to receive money from Workfare. Currently, the family is trying to get loans to buy a new flat, but their low credit rating makes this plan almost impossible. For now, the family of 5 is making do with this single room in a homeless shelter.
It's very hard because we eat, we sleep, we play, everything we do in the same room, and I think that is where my kids have problems because my second one is having problem meeting people. He would just wanted to stay inside the room. He doesn't want to play outside.
Today, May has an appointment with a recruitment agency. She wants to go back to working full-time once her youngest is enrolled at a childcare centre next year. May has 10 years' experience as a hospital clerk.
I'm a bit worried because after 10 years of not going to work, I think the work life, there's a lot of difference.
Miss May, may I ask, so for your next job, what is your salary expectation?
I was looking at 1,008.
I believe there will be a lot of retraining required, and what's more, on top of that, there may be new system that you need to get used to. So probably it's a wiser choice to put it at 1.6 to make yourself more employable.
Salaries like this are typical of the sector May wants to get work in. According to a recent survey conducted by the National University of Singapore, 17 out of 20 respondents believe jobs in the service industry do not pay enough to support a family.
Due to the huge influx of foreign workers from the mid-2000 onwards, and this has led to depression of wages in the lower end of the wage distribution. So what it means is that employers are not willing to pay local workers more because they have access to cheap foreign workers. And so as a result, you see that my own estimate is that over the last 5 years, actually the real income of those in the 10th percentile of the wage distribution, the real income has actually declined.
If a family can't use Workfare supplements to get out of poverty, and the scheme was never intended to do this, what other options do they have? Based on a household expenditure survey conducted in 2007 to 2008, 20% of households here in Singapore spend more than what they earn. These households spend almost $500 or more every month on basic necessities, such as housing, food and transport. Workfare tops up their income to some extent. But there are other schemes that make a bigger impact on these families. Hope, or the Home Ownership Plus Education, is one of these schemes. It aims to help families of a small size to improve their finances. Hope helps reduce a typical family's biggest expenditure, housing loan repayments.
When I joined this Hope program, they actually give me $1,000 to offset my PUB bills, and they actually also provided training, and yearly they will actually give me 2,500 credited to my CPF account, and yearly my son will get $400 for his bursary. Then compared to Workfare, I only receive for 3 months only I will get that 120. It doesn't make any difference for my daily expenses, monthly expenses actually.
Adam, on the other hand, will have to keep working to pay off his debts, a problem he can only solve on his own. The uncertainty and frustrations are taking their toll.
We are in a big circle that we cannot go anywhere. It's like you want to help us, but there's always a cap. There's always a thin fine line that we must not exceed. Then you can help. It's like, where is the effort when we work hard to go to the middle income stage. Then even I told them, if I go back to the lower income, is it possible? But they said no, because of my education, my experience in work, it's not possible for me to get that amount of pay, to get the help from the workfare.
The reality is, and the learning point that families need to take into account is never get into any form of debt, whether it's the along debt or the banking debts, right, official or unofficial, right, because that will really disqualify you from a lot of help that you can get, right, on a long-term basis.
For families with complex, deep-rooted financial problems, schemes like Workfare Income Supplement can only support. It is not a complete solution. This may require more drastic solutions. One is the idea of a fair wage. But precisely how much should workers be paid to meet a minimum standard of living?
Or there is a need for some intervention here from some regulation through statutory minimum wage. If you look at the experience of countries around the world, minimum wage is usually pegged at the median of the national wage, and the percentage varies from 40 to 60%, and the median wage in the context of Singapore is currently about 3,005 for the full-time employed workers. So we are looking at between 1,005 to 1,007 for the full-time workers.
A minimum wage has been effective in countries like Hong Kong, where women and even the elderly were drawn back into the workforce. The Singapore government believes, on the other hand, that training workers and supplementing their income through workfare is more beneficial. Workfare, they say, is not welfare. But the payments need to better take into account the needs of its recipients. The goal of this and other schemes is to help make people self-reliant.